Hello, friends. Welcome to Block Bytes and welcome to the weekly crypto news recap. Let's start with the market. This week, the market has been fairly muted. A lot of the tokens are in red. As you can see, a lot of these tokens were really going up last couple of weeks. We've got new tokens here like TIA, the Celestia token that has gone up, and helium has gone up especially because of the news that they have released a $20 US nationwide mobile plan, which is an amazing feat, and this is a much deserved rise in token price for them. AVAX is also in the news for the last couple of days because it's receiving a lot of attention from the crypto community and outside for RWA stories, for NFTs, gaming, and even DeFi to some extent. People feel that if Solana was has seen the DeFi jump, next we will see a similar jump in AVAX DeFi. So overall, this is how the market has been. Let's take a look at the coin shares report and see how much money is actually flown this week. This week has been very small in terms of the amount of money inflow into the crypto ecosystem. It is just $43 million, and if you can compare with the past 6 to 7 weeks, this has been a very small amount compared to the previous weeks, right? So, not a lot of buying action happening. And let's take a look at where this money has actually landed. Just like all the previous years, most of the money has gone to Bitcoin. But look at the amount. I mean, it used to be in three figures, right? But now it's just $20 million. Ethereum is second, and Solana is third as far as layer one tokens are concerned. So, still positive, and I think we're going to end December or this year with the positive inflow. I hope so. I guess we'll find out. So now from here, let's move on to the first news of the week. Now this is a very sad news, unfortunately, and it's something to do with Ledger, the popular hardware wallet. Ledger got was became a victim of a phishing attack, in which a lot of people actually lost their assets. So what happened was that one of their former employee got their name and email hacked because they must have clicked on some kind of a phishing link that they got in an email or somewhere. And once their name and email address was hacked, the hackers got access to the code that the employee was working on, and once they got their hands on the code, they were able to poison the ledger code, and insert some um, uh, undesirable or malicious content in there. And once this ledger connect kit came out, people who downloaded it and installed it and tried to use it immediately found that their hardware wallets, were drained of all the assets that they had kept. Very unfortunate. Uh, you buy the best piece of technology out there, the best hardware wallet, just to make sure that you go above and beyond to keep your assets safe, and then something like this happens, right? So Ledger, unfortunately, this is a perfect example of your chain is as strong as the weakest link, and you know this is this fits perfectly in this scenario. And well, the good news is, well, hope it turns out to be a good news, but at least this is Tether has actually frozen the funds, which is totaling up to 500, approximately 500,000 US dollars. So that's not going anywhere. I hope it comes back to the users. And for anybody listening, please make sure that you do not click on any emails, NFT giveaways, demo. You've been selected for this and that. You've been selected for a free NFT giveaway or free airdrop. The moment you connect your wallet and sign that transaction, your wallet will be drained. So please, please, please be extra careful before you click on any of such emails. Sorry about that. All right, so let's move on to the next news of the day. Yep, this is another interesting news. Uh, Ethereum layer 2 Arbitrum. Oops, hold on one second. Ethereum layer 2 Arbitrum suffered an outage, and inscriptions are to blame. So, if you're not aware of what inscriptions are, they basically are NFTs that are completely stored on chain. Uh, Most of the NFTs, as you know, are stored in a the actual image is actually stored in a centralized database. The link to that image is something that is kept in the distributed ledger or on the blockchain. But here, in this case of encryption, the entire image, 400 KB or hundreds of kilobytes or maybe even MBs, I'm not sure, is actually stored on chain. So what happened was people started experimenting with inscriptions, starting putting inscriptions out there on the blockchain, and it basically created a bottleneck for the network, and the network had to go down. So Arbitrum was the victim of this. As a matter of fact, Arbitrum is not the only chain on which inscriptions were being tried. Polygon, Avalanche, other layer twos like zkSync also experienced massive transaction volumes. And Arbitrum is the only one, so far as I know, at the time of this recording, that actually went down. So, Off-Chain Lab, the company behind Arbitrum, confirmed that the cause was an abundance of these inscriptions. And they were able to bring the system back online. But yes, so some people are calling it like a stress test for all of these layer twos and other blockchains. But yeah, so here we go. So as I said, Polygon, BNB chain, Avalanche, they see almost 57% increase in their traffic across these major chains, right? And yeah, so this is interesting. Inscription is makes sense on Bitcoin because they don't really have any network activity besides user transactions. And it is basically divided the Bitcoin community into two camps, right? So that is another story if you're keeping track of that. But yes, so inscriptions are being tried on EVMs and other layer ones as well, and layer twos. So that's the news. Moving on, FIFA Football Federation has announced a collaboration with Polygon now, that uh, they will be releasing digital collectibles that will give owners of the first 100 these collectibles get a chance to secure the tickets to the finals in 2026. This is a huge deal. The Football World Cup is probably the most watched event around the world, and to be able to secure tickets to the finals is a big deal. And it's a big deal for Polygon. Obviously, this is one of the other big name collaborations that we have. In a way, in a way, it is not surprising that they've gone with Polygon, because Polygon has made it a habit to sign these big deals with mm, large well-known companies, be it Nike, Adidas, Reebok, FIFA, Reddit, Starbucks. you name it, right? So a big news for Polygon, obviously, and they were on Algorand earlier, but now they've moved to no, FIFA. Now they've FIFA has moved the moved over to Polygon. So great news for Polygon. Speaking of Polygon, I saw this rather interesting tweet from Sandeep, and I've talked about how gaming is an important narrative in my earlier video of the top narratives of the next year. Gaming is certainly one of the top narratives, and not only people within the crypto community, but even institutions know that. If you recall the report from Standard Chartered Bank, they had in their Ethereum price predictions, they had gaming as one of the big drivers that will push the price of Ethereum forward. So institutions know about gaming. They know that it's a big thing. And in this tweet, Sandeep, let me just click on this so that yeah, there we go. Polygon has the most number of games when it comes to Web3 gaming, and it is certainly the leader in this ecosystem. Other name include, of course, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Solana, Immutable X, and AVAX. Now look at this. We talked about AVAX. AVAX is slowly coming up in the gaming sector also. As a matter of fact, AVAX is focused on two areas: gaming and real world assets, right? Immutable X, we know they are collaborated with Polygon. They've got their chain on Polygon POS, and the new chain will come on their zkEVM. There is a news related to that. We'll come to that later. Solana is big in gaming, and I believe Solana might even come to the top two positions next year in gaming. So this is a big adoption story for crypto as a whole, and at the moment, Polygon is leading this race. Right. Moving on, Limewire has announced a AI powered music platform which will use Polygon and Algorand. So if you are aware of Limewire, great. It used to be a peer to peer file sharing network like Napster. They have rekindled now, and they will be creating a AI powered music studio where these individual pieces of music can be bought and traded between people. So that trading, all that training transactions will be stored on Polygon. So that is a great news. Another great news for Polygon, and it tells you of how AI is going to be slowly and slowly changing the way uh, business is done, and things are created, which is why I wanted to present this next news, which is related to this. Uh, Legendary rock band Queen and their um lead guitarist Brian May came out and said in a recent interview that 2023 would be the last year for crypto. Sorry, not for crypto, for music, right? And he feels that from next year onwards, most of the music will be produced by AI. So this is a rather sad news, but I think it is something that is inevitable. And um, yeah, so he recognizes this. So I thought I'll share this news as a supplement to the previous news. So moving on, Immutable X, which we saw in Sandeep's email here as one of the top five gaming blockchains. Their new chain, which will be a zkEVM, will be gas free for gamers. Now, what this means is that the gamers don't would not have to pay gas for individual blockchain transaction that they do within the game. That fees would actually be sponsored either by Immutable or by the game developers or the gaming company. So this is a big move, and I think it's a much needed move. Gaming, you don't want your gamers to engage in activities that would potentially move them away from your game, and create more bottlenecks and friction in the gaming experience. So I think this is a fantastic move from them. In this article, they have presented that the fees also is not a big amount. So a per user monthly cost comes out to be such a low number. So as assuming, so you got 1,000, users, 1,000 daily active users, so it's only $8 monthly fees that the gaming companies would have to absorb. So not a lot of downside, but huge upsides for the gaming companies. So this is a very, very important move that they've taken. Moving on to the last news. This is not a crypto news, but nevertheless, it's an open source news, which is why I've included here. ARK Invest has come out with a recent research report in which they have predicted that open source AI models will overtake private AI models like ChatGPT and Gemini and others. So in this graph, they have shown that the closed or the private models at the top and the open at the bottom, they're kind of closing in. The gap is diminishing, and they feel that the open source models will actually overtake the performance of these private models. So, and I think crypto based AI project, this will be an important step for crypto based AI projects, because by that time I think a lot of these crypto AI projects will become mainstream, and that is my feeling, or at least I hope that happens. So that is why I'm very much interested in this particular research as well. So that was the last news that I picked up from this week. I hope you liked the content, and I will see you next week with another episode of the weekly crypto weekly news recap. Till then,